This year, 3 of New Zealand's top pipe bands are making the journey to Scotland to compete against the world's best, with a 4th band from St Andrew's College in Christchurch competing in the juvenile section. It's a journey that has been years in the making.
We're from Christchurch, New Zealand. Obviously St Andrew's College has a very close link with St Andrew's here. We're going to play a few tunes for you for a start.
It's become something of a tradition for college pipe bands to play at the old cathedral ruins, a place which is referenced in their own school song.
And actually stand at a point where the relics are and read line by line the school song.
That song speaks of saintly relics, King's Mount and the grey granite cliffs and seas of St Andrews.
Now Regulus, and with some others, set sail for the west, and they eventually found themselves off the east coast of Fife in Scotland, where they were shipwrecked in 347, near what is the harbour of St Andrews, just behind us here. And if you think of the school song, this is the King's Mount by the Grey North Sea.
It's just a wee memento of this time, and it's just a photograph of this, obviously not with you standing in front of it yet, but and with the words of the school song on the back. Pipe Band Tour 2023. Don't lose it, stick it in your sporran, okay?
For some, it's a spiritual homecoming. For others, an acknowledgement of the past and the Scottish diaspora of the mid-19th century that brought so many settlers to New Zealand and other parts of the world.
It is very important, historically for our school, I think, to play in these roads. I love hearing the echoes of the pipes once we finish. It is truly an amazing venue to be playing in.
The echoes of the past aren't the only connections being celebrated by Kiwi bands in Scotland today. Having played in Buchanan Street, Auckland and District, are now heading north to Blackford near Perth. It's pipe major Adam Mickey's hometown, located near a distillery where the family have gathered to greet a returning son and local hero.
How you doing? Nice to see you. How you doing?
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Good man, how you doing?
It's lovely to see him. You can't wait to get a cuddle when you're a mum, you know, it just has to be. So, and I'm very proud of him too. And of course he has association with this distillery that his granddad used to work here.
Time for a few tunes and perhaps a few whiskey chasers.
Bloody beautiful, mate.
Land.
While Adam and the A&D taste the local hospitality, another Scottish expat, Graham Bryce, is heading the opposite direction, driving past local towns and villages where he grew up.
There's a coming up next. There's a wee village. You pass through it, you come to Cooper, which is where the place I went to school.
For Graham, there's no time to stop. Pipe Sergeant with the Caledonian Society, he's heading back from St Andrews to join the band for another performance in Glasgow.
It's 100% under control, don't worry about it. It's all good. We will make it.
As the minutes tick by, local knowledge makes all the difference. A quick car park change. Then through John Lewis, down an escalator, back up another escalator, and of course, arrive with 5 minutes to spare. Meanwhile, back at Blackford, it's time for a last dram, final farewells, and family photos before Adam and the crew from Auckland board their bus and head for the Highlands.
We're going up to Pitlochry from here, and he's going to be playing on the Highland nights, and that's where his passion for the pipes began. The love of the pipes has just followed him wherever he's gone. From a mere stripling to a famous pipe major. Brilliant. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Back on the road, next stop, Pitlochry. Pitlochry is a small town with a big reputation for piping. Some of Scotland's most respected players hail from this region.
Get your pipes together, man. For goodness sake.
It's really good to be up here because there's a strong piping heritage up here. We have Gordon Duncan, who's one of Scotland's finest composers. And just to immerse yourself and understand what the heritage is like up here is quite important to the Bankers. In fact, we play some of his tunes.
Tonight, Auckland and District is marching down the main street alongside the Vale of Atholl, the pipe band which tutored Adam as a lad.
This is where I'm from. My heritage is from Perth, and I lived a lot of my time up in Pitlochry. The band's had a great time as well, and bringing it back to my roots to understand what this is all about has been fantastic.
Time to enjoy the ceilidh while it lasts, because once they get back to Glasgow, the party's over and the real work begins.
A slight attitude change towards from going from the social aspect to now heading into the serious competitive, and yeah, there's definitely a temperament change from myself, from being very happy-go-lucky to now being serious. Between 6 to 10% chance of rain. It's pretty good odds. Pretty good odds, yeah. And it's meant to be nice temperature between 16 and 20. It's prime. We get underneath the trees there. Yeah, we can make a good session of it. I think we aim to be along there. I think we need to give people time to have a little bit of breakfast. Some people are just woken up, so I think if we have between 10:30, we'll say 10:30 and 2. A lot of people will be playing for their positions today. Some people have been on the fence, so they'll be playing for their positions today. This will be the cut-off point for them. So there's a huge attitude change towards being competitive, and the sort of jovial side of things is dropping off, and we're really heading towards Friday now.
Do you know if you're going to play yet?
No, I don't know yet, but I'm confident. I hope that I'm good enough to play for that, and I'll find out on the day.
On the day?
Or the day before.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
We have 22 as it stands just now on roster for starting the day. Realistically, we'll probably end up with about 17, 18, and that can be whether on the day if you've made a slight mistake, or if the sun comes out and there's a huge temperature change, the chanters can really peak and the top hand can go. So there's a broad variance of range that can decide if you're going to play on the day or not. Some people just, the nerves overcome them, and then that's really about you controlling your environment instead of the environment controlling you.
The challenges of intensive practice and playing over months in New Zealand and now Scotland need to be carefully managed by all of the bands.
Not too bad. I just want to try the reel just one more time. Just feel like it's just lacking a wee bit of life.
Hygiene's really good, okay, really good, and then it's not. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there, but that's just it's a blowing thing, a concentration thing. Listen, make the hygiene as good as it can be every single time. Epic sounds, okay?
It's not just injuries or illness that impact on performance. There can be ongoing problems with stress, fatigue and even diet.
It's very easy to fall into the trap of beer and chippy here, so there's a lot of access to Scottish food which is yum, but is not sustainable for our people, so we're trying to get the right food and the right liquids into our people, certainly this week as we focus. So that means just looking after yourself and making sure you are doing what you can to make sure you can do your performance to serve the band and to play as one.
Prescient words, because partway through Auckland and District's latest practice session, piper Tim Chia is rubbing his jaw and experiencing severe pain.
the air pressure kind of did something to the nerve, and it was making it hurt like crazy when I was playing my pipe. So that just flared up yesterday at the practice. I never had it before. I chewed some gum and like stuffed a bit of gum in there to see if I could block the air pressure from going in the hole, but that didn't work. So yeah, had to call up the dentist. They got real good dentist treatment here, eh? I was a bit concerned I wouldn't be able to play, and yeah, I'm playing harmonies, so would have to quickly sort another harmony player to balance the harmonies and everything. But luckily, hopefully it'll be sweet for tomorrow. It's still a little bit numb, so I don't know how it'll feel for playing the pipes, but surely it'll be fine.
It's got to be better than chewing gum.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
In just a few days' time, thousands of people from around the world will descend on Glasgow Green. And that may seem a little unusual to those who don't live in Scotland and are more used to the spectacle of the Edinburgh military tattoo. But in piping terms, Edinburgh is for tourists, Glasgow for purists. Glasgow offers players a chance to perform intricate recitals for audiences of piping aficionados, far more interested in musical nuance than marching and display. And that matters because whether piping or drumming, playing to an audience that really understands and appreciates your skill makes the whole thing worthwhile. Drumming for Drinks is another hugely popular event on the Glasgow calendar.
Please put your hands together for the lead drummer of the St Andrews College Pipe Band, the Christchurch, New Zealand, Georgia Eagle!
Such an incredible experience to go out there and be in a freestyle competition. You don't normally have that over in New Zealand, to experience that over in Scotland in front of so many people that you don't know and they don't know you is pretty incredible.
I'm really proud, really proud. She's worked really hard, and I know the Worlds have been a really big focus, but it's also been a really big thing for her to come over here. She wants to get a name out there and she wants to hold her own.
Words don't really explain how much effort she's put into this to get here, with the whole band and her performance today.
Unbelievable, so good to see Georgia up there giving it licks on stage. Yeah, very proud indeed.
Georgia only has a few months of high school left in New Zealand, and her dreams for the future are firmly entwined with drumming.
Yeah, I want to head over to Scotland after I complete my uni degree in New Zealand, and I want to compete with some of the bands over there and get experiences on competing at the world stage in a grade 1 band and hopefully winning a world championship, as that's my goal with a band overseas.
The makeup of Kiwi pipe bands has changed dramatically over the past 25 years. And what used to be a predominantly male pastime now attracts a diverse demographic. Evolving styles and even sounds will be shaped by a new generation of players drawing their inspiration from a weave of sympathetic cultural influences and ideas.
Danika's skill in the poia has helped her to develop in her tenor drum, which has taken her from a grade 4 band to a grade 2 band to representing New Zealand in the youth band. And now here to the Worlds, we shall be competing with a grade 1 band, Auckland and District.
Mark.
It's been a good final session for Auckland and District, and Adam is happy.
The piping is mint. The midsection is really top class. The snare line is supporting everything really well. It's going really well. Hold your heads high. Puff your chest out and enjoy this. This doesn't happen all the time. I can honestly tell you this doesn't happen all the time where everything starts to come together like this.
Tomorrow the World Championships begin, and everything that could be done has been done. Behind the scenes, support crew have been working overtime to mend kilts, lug gear, do the washing and ironing, and a myriad of other small tasks that free the bands to concentrate on music. 6 months of hard work comes down to just 5 minutes on the park for each band's performance. A total of 4 performances spread across 2 days will decide the winner.
How do you think they're going to go? Well, Adam says that he's not looking for any prizes today because they're a young band, but from what I hear, I think they're worthy of a prize.
You'd say that, Dad?
Yeah.
You're up against the best bands in the world. The reality is, you know, if you finish in the top 6, that'd be a fantastic result. If you come first, brilliant. But I think we go in knowing that we're the underdogs.
The bands follow a carefully choreographed process as they prepare to get underway. First, there's the tuning area for last-minute adjustments and finessing.
The sun's come out, causes a few issues with the sound, so a bit of a reset required, but can see if it clouds over again. But sun's good, but sun and cloud is not so good.
If the instruments can't be sorted here, then the player is dropped in a brutal but necessary last-minute cull.
Just getting to the last point where they're trying to refine the sound, and any chanters that are playing up a wee bit, they're just cutting.
The bands then march to the starting point, a chance to settle the nerves with a familiar tune.
Okay folks, the first band to play in the Grade 1 Match Display and Reel competition this morning, Auckland and District Pipe Band from New Zealand, pipe maker Adam Ritchie.
Then a pause, a brief discussion with officials, and they're underway. Judging begins when the band first strikes up and starts their performance by marching into the circle to play.
A lot of the young guys who are tuning up for the first time at Worlds, it's going to be an experience for them. It's going to teach them, I guess, how to control their nerves on the world stage. And everybody I've seen come through at Worlds as a young person's gone on to achieve really well, because they've been around the best in the world, they've seen the best in the world playing, so they feed off that. And that's another reason we're bringing the band here, is to give the youth exposure to their best.
And the smiles say it all.
But the boys actually did really well to hold their nerve there. The heat went up about maybe 4 or 5 degrees in the backs. That can really affect the chanters, so it was the luck of the draw when they're on there, but I felt like they held their nerve pretty well.
I did it! You did it! Yeah, that's awesome, that's awesome. Proud of you.
No sooner has one band come off than the next band rolls on. It'll be ongoing until all 16 Grade 1 bands have played through their traditional march, stress bay and reel selections. The performances are being live streamed by the BBC, who've kindly allowed us permission to film behind the scenes on the first day of the World Champs and capture the competing bands' penultimate performances. It's MSRs in the morning, and then the more challenging medley performances during the afternoon.
You come a long way to enjoy music.
Yeah, absolutely, but that's why we do it. Yeah, and it's kind of a mentality thing as well. A lot of work does go into it, but at the end of the day, we're just standing there playing good music, and all the work that goes in the weeks and months prior, we almost just need to forget about that and just enjoy the music that we're delivering.
The time allotted for warm-up and tuning is over, and the Christchurch Caledonian Society Pipe Band marches from their starting point into the circle. As the New Zealand 2023 Pipe Band champions, the Kelly will be hoping to impress and stay ahead of the other Grade 1 Kiwi bands.
All very happy, first one out of the way, and now it's about just going to dry the pipes out and get ready for another solid performance this afternoon.
Each of the New Zealand bands has its own approach to the World Championships and that moment when you step up to the line. Competitions can be won or lost in that moment.
Band number 4 to play in this morning's Grade 1 March to Spain Real competition. Manawatu 2 Scottish from New Zealand. Pint Major Stuart McKenzie and the
There's
reigning
pressure,
dominant
there is tension. One of the things that we're doing a lot of work on these days is mental skills and resilience and the ability to overcome performance anxiety. So it's no different to other, performance idioms or sport, top level sport for that matter. I think a big part of it is embracing the occasion. Trusting the systems, trusting your preparation, trusting in each other. It's a really important part of it. So we've certainly done a lot more talking and thinking and working on that aspect of things, because so often, performances are let down by individuals not being able to handle the occasion. And so we're no different to other pursuits in that respect. Yeah, it's not all about winning necessarily at the Worlds, but it's about playing well and being recognised for that and the buzz that comes with that as well.
The pipes held pretty well. The guys kept their composure. I couldn't ask for much more, to be honest.
Their first performances, and of course nerves now out of the way, the bands barely have time to catch their breath before they're into final rehearsals ahead of the afternoon medley competition. When the New Zealand bands aren't performing, they're doing something many players consider equally important. They're listening to the performances of other top international bands they don't normally get to hear or play against. With a total of 190 bands playing across multiple grades, there are currently 8 arenas in operation, and the crowds will get even larger tomorrow.
I've played bagpipes for 40 years and people love them or hate them, but there's just something about them. They're inspiring, they're moving, they make the hair in the back of your neck stand up, and it's so special.
Special to Scottish locals who carry a sense of pride for an instrument that is integral to their heritage and their identity. Special for visiting New Zealand bands who've been isolated from international competition for 4 years. And of course special for a new generation of younger players
Pretty happy with that.
experiencing the Worlds for the very first time.
We had such heightened emotions, we were all sobbing. Yeah, literally. It was such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. I reckon it's the best. Yeah, I hope they get that same feeling that we do. Because it was so good. Yeah.
Marcella and Kate are reminiscing about the first time they played at the Worlds when they were still pupils at St Andrew's College. The college band is actually up early this morning for what is the last day of competition. They'll be playing in the finals of the juvenile section and get to perform in the main arena ahead of the Grade 1 bands.
Saturday morning at 8:20, so we're 15 minutes away from going on in Arena 1, just over to the right-hand side here. Yeah, years in the planning, I guess, comes down to this, but very confident, sounding really, really good.
While confidence is high, the weather is a low, and the forecast is for wind and rain on and off again for much of the day. But of course a wee bit of the wet isn't about to dampen supporter enthusiasm. 12,000 miles and the college band is about to play.
What a team, eh? What a team!
I felt really good, really nervous going on. I think it's the
Arena 1, which is like the big arena.
Playing the main arena on Glasgow Green is part education, part inspiration, a chance for younger players to imagine what it might be like to be selected to play with a Grade 1 band at the Worlds. And today those top 16 bands have one last opportunity to impress the judges. It's pretty much a repeat of yesterday with MSRs and medleys, but with different tunes.
How did it go, mate? Really good. Really happy with that. Rain started coming a little bit. A sprinkle.
Manawatu are happy, but the Caledonian Society is leaving nothing to chance. Concerned about the weather, they've booked an Airbnb just down the road, giving players and their instruments shelter from any adverse conditions. The overall winner is the band with the lowest aggregate score across both days, and that means a lot of number crunching. There are more than a dozen different judges for pipes, for drums and for overall ensemble performance. Tabulating and then announcing the winner becomes a waiting game, and that's part and parcel of the magic of a Pipe Band World Championship, waiting for the results in the beer tent.
So we were on early, so we finished 4th out of 16 bands. So we have like 4 or 5 hours in the beer tent, and then we should figure out sometime around 7 o'clock or so.
We probably won't know where we came for quite a while, so it will take a long time to come out.
And the beer queue, and it's still the beer queue, and the beer queue.
But if you're waiting for a drink, you'll probably need that time anyway. After 2 days of near non-stop playing, band members have built up a thirst.
Long day of work.
But it's much more than that. In reality, this is an international get-together, an opportunity for the pipe band community to have a catch-up. It's where tales are told, events relived, and friendships are reaffirmed.
It's really great. It's great. You make friends for life. You do make friends for life. And the music is just so enjoyable, especially when you start playing at a high level. It makes you really emotional. Coming off of the medley today, just being with my friends and playing to a really high level and putting a good performance in the floor, I was fighting back the tears by the end of it.
Cold, and then it was wet, and then it was sunny, and then it was cloudy.
Yes, absolutely. It's a big challenge that all the bands face, not just our band, but all the bands obviously. But you kind of come to expect it from Glasgow, really. You never know what you're going to get, so you kind of come to expect it and try to plan for it as best you can, and then hope for the best.
2 glorious weeks. Every day's been different. The band has evolved. It's played, in my mind, as good as it possibly could. I am so proud of the band. I really couldn't have asked for much more. It's been fun. It's certainly been tiring, but the satisfaction that comes with putting a band together and getting out here on Glasgow Green in Grade 1 and playing on the biggest stage of all and playing to a good standard is very, very rewarding, very satisfying. So I'm thrilled.
It's important for us to take the time to understand just how much work has gone into this whole world trip. We have individuals who have spent hours and hours and hours going over a repeat of the same material for the last 3 months in the cold flats in Wellington, Christchurch, Auckland, trying to get something right so that they can deliver something here in Scotland.
And deliver they have, with a series of inspiring musical performances that can only strengthen New Zealand's reputation as an antipodean bastion of world-class piping and drumming. The results will be the results, but the return for young Kiwi players competing in their first Worlds has the potential to help shape the New Zealand pipe band community for decades to come.